as possible. Okay. But yeah, y'all. We're gonna hope this is gonna be the first and first only episode and commentary of my new episode of Just Because I'm Quiet doesn't mean that I don't have anything to say. Okay. That was actually good. I put syrup in it instead of honey because I was like, let me just see, like they're both syrupy, like let me just see, they're both sweet. It was actually good. But yeah, if you haven't heard my new episode, go listen to it. It's a poetry edition. All 9 audios are all poetry that I've made originally. So yeah. So the first one, well, first I want to say, it's like gloomy outside. Well, it's not gloomy, but like the sun's not shining, But yeah, I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I'm currently washing, so if you hear that, that's what you hear in the background. But yeah, Summer Walker's album or her new EP. I loved it. I knew I was gonna love it. I loved her ever since I listened to her first song. It was CPR, but it was like a remix and it was on SoundCloud. So yeah, if you haven't heard it, go listen to that too. This is not sponsored. I wish it was, but it's not. But yeah, we love you, Summer Walker. We stand Summer Walker. I should have worn my Summer Walker hoodie, but anyways, yeah. So the first poem is Dreams, and I guess I'll just give you guys like a summary or just like what I was thinking while I was making it, try to recollect my thoughts on like where I was at, why I wrote it, things like that. So basically Dreams, it's basically about me. It's basically about me and just like how I feel or like my response to the people that that have been in my life, that were in my life at a time, that try to, and I'm not saying these people were out to get me or trying to wish harm against me, but like at the time, because how do I say this? When I was younger, like yeah, I had dreams and aspirations and all that, but like I wasn't so fixated on like, oh my gosh, like I need to start preparing myself on how to do this and that when I'm like when I get older and this like like I wasn't thinking about that. I was just simply just doing me. I was just doing any and everything that like I felt like I wanted to do. I wanted to try out. I wanted to get my hands in, because I am a creative. That is strictly like what I do on a daily basis, whether that's dancing, drawing, writing, hair, makeup. Like art is just like really, art is in my bones, I would say. Like I'm strictly like always doing something pertaining to my hands, pertaining to like always gaining more abundance in my creative abilities, and just looking at anything and saying, okay, like that's a muse for me. Let me see like what I could do with that, and how it made me think. Hold on, bro. Oh my goodness. I need to take another sip. Being an adult or trying to be an adult is not, it's not it. It's not it at all. It's not it. Yeah, so basically, um, dabbling, dabbling, anything that pertains to art is something that I love to do. It's kind of just been like natural to me. Like like yeah, like not even like reading counts, writing, whatever. But math and all that, yeah, no, thank you. But yeah, looking at things, taking it, taking the what I saw, like what compelled me to like see the beauty in something and using that into my art, which whatever media that would be in at the time. But yeah, dreams, uh going back, trying to go back. Dreams is basically about, my response to how people would try to like inflict their opinions on like, oh my gosh, like, you have such great this, like you should, pursue this and that, all that. That's basically my response in this poem. Especially at the end, because I start talking about how, sorry, excuse me, well, just like I talk about it in the beginning and more so at the end as well, but just saying, like, I'm sorry that like, like you didn't have somebody that, basically like helped you uh get up and like, instilled like, you know all these great things into you, but just because you see, like, you think I should do this thing doesn't mean it's really gonna help me in the end, or I want to be in your shoes, because people like to do a lot of this, but it's like if you really look back at it, it's like, why would I even take your advice, why would I even take your opinion into consideration, and I don't even want to be in your shoes. So that's really just the whole background of dreams. And basically, like, in retrospect, like, you can think of it as like, a good thing. It's like, okay, yeah, these people don't know what they're talking about. They don't know me from a can of paint. They might think they know me, but at the end of the day, like, I'm gonna pursue, I'm gonna do the things that, like I said, instill creativity, creative juices in me, and just like basically like bring out this like lion within yourself. Uh, yeah, like I don't really know what else. I don't really know too. I don't remember too much about like where I was at the time, but yeah, that's really just where it was coming from, because it's crazy. Cause it's just crazy in general. Cause like you'll like get into like a place where you're just like, why am I even like doing these things? Why am I even trying to like get to that goal? And it's not even like something I really want to do. Like, do I even want to really do that? And you know, like, although like questioning like yourself can be a negative thing, I also see it as a good thing, because it's like you always want to stay like on track. Like, you don't want to like do too much to the point where you can't even like get to that, that personal goal of yours, or like you expect too much out of yourself. Now, I'm not saying like you don't expect anything out of yourself, but it's like taking baby steps is way more uh I don't even want to say I don't even know if convenience the word, but it's way more productive, I guess, in a sense, than like trying to like have these big, outlandish gaps of like goals that you're just like, it's so far, like I can't even see like the end of it, which at the same time, you shouldn't even trying to get to the destination. Like, it's the journey. It's always about the journey. But yeah, hopefully that made sense. I picked dreams as the first one because I feel like it was like, in a sense, it's kind of lighthearted, like, um it it's really just like a reminder. Like I like, and I guess I could use her EP as an example. Over It and Clear too. You know, at the end she has, you know, Sierra's prayer at the end, which is just basically talking and like kind of just wrapping up the whole like the whole project on its own, as well as Clear too. Like she's taught, like, given a revelation and just like, you know, from where she was to where she is now. And I feel like Good Dreams is essentially in its own way that, but for the beginning. It's like, okay, this is where I'm starting, so I'm gonna give y'all a little, you know, little taste of, you know, where it's gonna go. Cause it starts, you know, I start saying dreams, and then, you know, I start saying, you know, like supposedly like this is like how things should be, but they're not. And then going into saying like, yeah, like that one person, that one group of people, you know, is trying to inflict like all their fears and traumas onto me because they weren't able to like figure it out on their own and, you know, be honest with themselves through and after that traumatic experience. But I really, like I said, the ending really, I don't know, for me, the ending is really captivating just because it's like, where it says, I'm sorry, child, like you passed away in a room filled with endless possibilities, with bitterness throwing up all over it. That part, I was really thinking about like my old, not my like childhood bedroom, but one of my childhood bedrooms, because I've moved like two or three times throughout my whole entire life, from, you know, when I was born to 18 years old. But yeah, so the house that we lived in before the one that I live in now back at home, we moved in that one when I was, I think, the summer, and when I was going into like second or third grade. So I was living there until like 9 years old, till I was 18. So I was really just thinking about like that bedroom and how like that was really like the, like my big like moments of like growing up, and like, you know, me realizing like who my identity is like starting to become, because, you know, that's when, you know, I was drawing a lot. I was, you know, doing my own hair. I was really like into that, as well as like clothing. You know, like clothing was hard for me. Like getting dressed for school was so hard because I was so indecisive, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, no, I don't want to wear that. Like that's not good. Oh my god, I don't want to wear this. Da 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 da. And then on top of that, my hair is also different. Like I straightened my hair a lot. I, you know, had, you know, my curly afro out, and it was just like, you know, people at school and people just like anywhere else, you know, be like, oh, you know, I like your hair better this way, or I like your hair better that way. As well as like me playing sports. I played volleyball, so it's like, you know, I was still going through puberty. So of course I was I was one of the tallest kids in my class. So naturally, like, I'm gonna assume like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be tall forever. Y'all, I'm 5'6", 5'7". If I would still have been till this day pursuing volleyball as a career, I would be a libero. I would not be a front center spiking and doing all that. I mean, I could, no, liberos do spike, but they're always like on the serving. I think they're the serving end, right? I think so. I don't remember. But yeah, like things like that, as well as like, you know, I don't know, hand modeling. I don't know. Like I remember like people would say that too, but that's besides the point. But yeah, like I don't know if that, like, hopefully that makes sense, but it's just like things like that. Like people just like, oh, like you should do this, you should do this, you should do this, and I'm just like, I'm not even thinking about that. I'm not. Like I remember I was like like, I think it's like elementary school. I was probably like kindergarten. And, you know, Walmart, I love me some Walmart. I still love me Walmart. But like whenever, you know, my parents and I would go to Target, I was like, oh my gosh, it's so bright in here. Like, you know, and this was like back in like early 2000s. So like their dress code was way stricter than what it is now. Like they had to wear like, you know, like a certain like red shirt with like probably like the Target logo, and then like brown like slacks and like black shoes. Like I was like feeling it. I was like, oh my gosh, like I want to work here like one day, like da 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 da. Like I was not thinking about like 30-year-old me. And if I was, it was like, oh, you know, lawyer, doctor. But I'm like, I don't know anything like that. Like, I don't know. But yeah, pursue your own dreams. Like, pursue your own dreams. And I was just watching what's his name, Charles, what is his name, basically is a video of this one writer, I forgot his last name, but something, so he was something, I don't know, he was something, but yeah, he was basically saying like, you know, like if it doesn't come out of you naturally, then you shouldn't do it, you know, like if it isn't something that is just comes to you naturally, then there's no point in like putting effort. And not saying like, oh, like if you don't, like if not saying like, oh, like if you have the ideas or the thoughts and stuff, you know, then you shouldn't do it at all. But it's like if you have to force yourself to do something, like for example, like me pursuing chemistry, as a career, like I once, like I was, you know, I was good at chemistry, but like after I thought about it, I was like, I don't want to be no chemist. I don't want to have to wear no ugly like white cloak every day and like be looking at like, no, I don't want to do that. Math is no, I don't know, no. Like that's like for me, that would be me forcing myself to do something I don't do on a daily basis, that doesn't come to me naturally. Not saying it couldn't, but you know, what's the point in me like pursuing that if I don't naturally want to pursue it, if it doesn't naturally like give me a drive to like go further, if it doesn't naturally like give me like butterflies, or naturally like gives me excitement, or like, you know, it doesn't bring me joy and peace. But I feel like that's self-explanatory, but that's basically what he was saying. And I love that poem, or you know, his spoken word. I don't know what it was, but yeah, I loved it. It really stuck to me. It really stuck to me. But yeah, see y'all in the next one. This is episode 1. Come back episode 2 when it comes out, and have a great day. Today's Friday, so you know, get drunk, get lit, whatever you want to do. I'm probably gonna watch a movie and eat, and probably do my hair and do nothing and sit on the couch, and yeah. Leanie SG's Natara is out.